Over the past week or so, I've found myself playing more and more Black Ops 1 Zombies. I was playing mostly Kino due to it being a fun thrill ride all the way through. When I was playing, I asked myself this question: why is Kino so slept on? Kino Toten is what many players would say was the first Zombies map they've ever played. I first played Kino Toten back in 2010 when I was just a 5-year-old boy. Zombie YouTubers like Tim Hansen or The Smith Plays have said in the past that Kino was overrated. Why is that? Kino was the launch map for Black Ops 1. For the first time ever, we got 2 on-disc zombie maps. You have 5, which if we're just talking about the aesthetic and atmosphere of the map, has the best out of any other. Then you have Kino, the full word of Kino der Toten, translating to Theater of the Dead. The amount of story that Kino actually has is very little, due to the story not being a main considered feature until Ascension. Kino was remastered in Black Ops 3 as part of the best-selling Call of Duty DLC ever, Zombies Chronicles. When comparing both Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 versions of the map, each gives the player an incredibly fun time of playing zombies, with each offering something different even though it's the same. However, with Kino der Toten on Black Ops 1, you get a great atmosphere with harder mechanics. So it really depends on which way you look at it. In Black Ops 1, you have the original variation of the Thunder Gun, and my favorite variation of the Ray Gun, and of course the original variation of the entire map. Look, I get it. Yes, Kino is a very simple, very plain, and it gets boring once you hit roughly round 30, and yes, it just does what Der did, but slightly worse. However, Kino is the one map that any Call of Duty player could pick out from a lineup of zombie maps. It all starts once you select Kino der Toten.
Entry 741021! Perhaps this station will hold the key to the real goals of Group 935. I still do not trust my unconventional allies, but they are of great use to me. But I digress. Who would have thought the MDT was capable of time travel? How many stations does this group have? Where did that little girl disappear to? Only time will tell what new questions await us in this theater of the damned.
After receiving a line of dialogue from Toten, which haunted me as a child, you spawn in, and immediately putting you into the theater and into the most iconic scene in the history of zombies. Having nothing but an M1911 gives the player an incentive to upgrade their weaponry. When I play Kino on Black Ops 1, I always open up the bottom room so I can get the MPL, because it gives you a ton of points and it's better than the PM63. The one word that I can use to describe Kino der Toten in the year of 2021 is legacy. The word legacy itself really means nothing to this video, but what I mean by that is legacy as in what Kino der Toten would go on to do for the Zombies franchise. World at War was the first Call of Duty to feature zombies, which I'll cover more in depth in my World at War review sometime next week, or the week after, or the week after that, whenever I get it done. World at War birthed zombies into the Call of Duty franchise, but Black Ops 1 raised zombies. If Kino der Toten never existed and the only on-disc map we got was 5, an unfair mess of a zombies map, Black Ops 1 might have been the last game to have zombies. It's the same scenario with Mob of the Dead or Origins. Black Ops 2 has the same number of mediocre maps in Transit, Die-Res, and Nuketown as it does good maps in Buried, my personal favorite, Mob of the Dead, and Origins. Even though I think Origins and Mob of the Dead are overrated, I do respect them for making zombies what it was in Black Ops 3. Also known as the highest point of interest Zombies has ever seen. But even then, we have to talk about Kino once again. If Kino never released in Black Ops 1 and instead released in World at War following Der like the original plan was, it wouldn't be the map it is today, and I have to argue Der wouldn't be the map it is today. Is Kino overrated? Yes. It is, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Being a fun map to play with 2 super fun window weapons in the Ray Gun and the Thunder Gun makes this map even more iconic. The Ray Gun was first introduced in World at War, but it feels like it was made for Black Ops 1. The same thing with the map itself. Even though Kino was originally planned and made for World at War, it feels like it was made, and it feels like it was always supposed to be in Black Ops 1. At the end of the day, I understand that people's views on Kino der Toten have been altered over the past 5 or so years, it is still a great map. I hooked up my 360 for the first time in years just to play this game and get the full experience. I know it's backwards compatible to the Xbox One, but I wanted the full Kino to Toten experience, going back playing on the 360. Overall, the map is plain, and it adds nothing really to the series that wasn't already in Doris, but it still offers the single most infamous screenshot in all of Call of Duty Zombies. I love this map. After all, it's where I started, and I think it would be a lot bigger even to this day, 10 years later, if it added new features like maybe a new perk like stamina, or the ammo-matic perk that was originally planned but ultimately scrapped from the entire series due to it being way too overpowered. So why is Kino to Toten slept on? Quite simple. It's due to maps like Origins adding numerous more features, like the first ending cutscene in Call of Duty Zombies history. If Kino to Toten had a story, if it had an end cutscene, if it even had a beginning cutscene, if it had any actual story behind the map, we could be talking about Kino to Toten in the same light as we do Origins or Mob of the Dead. Thank you so much for watching this video. There are a few things I want to mention really quickly before the video actually ends. The first thing is, this was originally going to be the Black Ops 1 review of the overall game, but I decided to push that back to probably next week sometime because I want to put as much time into that as I possibly can, due to it being one of my favorite video games of all time. The second point to mention, I'm going to be doing more videos like this where I go throughout the history of zombie maps and I break down individual maps. I'm not sure when or how often I'm going to be doing these, but I really enjoyed making this and writing the script, and especially getting the gameplay for this video. So I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure how often I'm going to make these videos, but I will make them throughout, maybe once a week, maybe once every other couple weeks. And the maps aren't gonna be in order. They're just gonna be maps I'm talking about. My next video, like this, is gonna be why Tog der Toten is the most underrated zombies map of all time, because it is. And finally, the third point is, after this video, it'll be my Black Ops 1 review, and then after that video, it will be my Call of Duty World at War review, and so on and so forth. I really want to cover World at War because I think it's one of the best non-talked about Call of Duty games of all time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.